And now, ladies and gentlemen, from the heart of the Inland Empire, right here in sunny Southern California, it's Robert Cardoza Live, where we talk about politics, money, and you. This is the intersection of business and politics. And now here's your host, Robert Cardoza.
And welcome aboard. I am Robert Cardoza, and you're listening to Robert Cardoza Live on the street at the intersection of business and politics. And once again, I got to tell you, I'm apologizing to you for being a little bit late. We ran into some technical problems with our equipment. I don't know what the problem was. I fixed it, but I don't know what the problem was. It must have been the prayers from my co-host today, my grandson Joey. Was that your prayers, Joe?
I don't think so.
It had to be your prayers. I don't know what else could have done it.
Yeah, I think it was your effort.
Okay.
We tried like 4 times.
Yep, yeah. Well, we got it.
The same problem has happened the last 4 days.
This is crazy, isn't it?
It's insane. It needs to be fixed.
I don't know what the heck the problem is, but anyway, we got it going. Anyway, I want you to know that at 3:05 p.m., so we're running about 3 minutes late, it is currently 82 degrees here in the heart of the Inland Empire in sunny Southern California. That's on its way down to 59 degrees. Beautiful day here in the land that God created, huh?
Absolutely.
It sure is. Well, you know what? Today's show, we're going to talk about what's in the news, new legislation, the IRS loses, and in our new segment that you know what's really been interesting. People have given us some positive feedback on our tribute to the late, great Paul Harvey and the rest of the story. And I know that you're liking that too, aren't you?
There's just some amazing stories in there.
Yeah, today's story is going to be a special one too. We can't tell anybody what it is, but it's going to be a special story. It's actually entitled The Good for Nothing, so we'll get to that. And then also on today's show, we'll be talking about summertime home and travel tax breaks that you're going to know about. I'll answer your emails today, and Joel Saltzman will be here, and he'll be talking about new wireless phone technology. But right off the bat, first thing we're going to talk about is the news. And these are the 10 things that you need to know today. We've encapsulated them, so you get an idea of what's going on in the world, and then we'll get a little bit more in depth. These are the 10 things that you need to know for Wednesday, your daily look at late breaking news, upcoming events, and the stories that'll be talked about all day today and tomorrow. First off, no charges are appropriate in this case. Yeah. Well, with those words, FBI Director James Comey announced the agency will not seek criminal charges against Hillary Clinton for her use of a private email server while Secretary of State, although he called her actions extremely careless. Yeah, that's an understatement. And the Islamic State tightens the grip on captives held as sex slaves. An Associated Press investigation reveals that while the Islamic State group is losing ground, it's tightening its grip on some 3,000 women and girls held as sex slaves. And who vigorously vouches for Clinton? President Obama makes his first outing on the campaign trail for his former Secretary of State hours after his FBI director blasted her handling of classified material. And findings of the United Kingdom Iraq war investigation go public. 13 years after British, American, and coalition forces marched into Iraq, a mammoth report will address the lingering question, what went wrong? And Iraq Interior Minister resigns amid fallout from massive suicide blast. Islamic State militants claimed responsibility for a truck bombing in the center of Baghdad that killed 175 people and wounded nearly 200 others. Then, what's next for Juno's Jupiter mission? Well, the United States spacecraft that has entered Jupiter's orbit will peer deep inside the planet's cloud cover to uncover clues about its formation. And Lin-Manuel Miranda is leaving the blockbuster Hamilton. Now, my grandson Joey, he has got to be feeling sad about this. One of his bucket list items was to see this man in Hamilton. He'll still get to see Hamilton one day, but not this guy. How do you feel about that, Joe?
I understand why he's leaving, but I think it's sad for the people that love the show like I do, that he is leaving. It's still going to be an amazing show. Yeah,
absolutely. It's going to be an amazing show. They're going to get good talent.
An amazing show about an amazing guy.
Yeah, well, but the performance of Miranda and all original cast members have been captured on film for the throngs of theater goers who could never get a ticket to the show. So you'll get to see it on the big screen in any event, right? It's not the same as live.
Yeah, it's not the same as live, but it'll still be pretty cool to watch.
Yeah.
Well, I hear that a lot of them are asking a lot of them are actually thinking about leaving. Some of them are thinking about leaving.
Well, you can only do that show so long, and you want to move on, right?
Yeah.
But while it's a success, anyway, we got to get on with the news. Mega Millions jackpot hits $454 million. It's potentially the 7th largest payout in the United States lottery history. I guess we better go buy a ticket, Joe. Huh? And where's $100 million Noah's Ark Park will open? Northern Kentucky is home to the new attraction built by Christians who say the biblical story of worldwide flooding really happened. Yeah, and they got 2 of every species of every animal on Earth on that boat, right? Yeah, they did. God, it must be bigger than the USS Enterprise.
I hear it's a pretty large. I hear it's like supposed to be a full scale replica.
Oh, you've actually heard of it?
Yeah, I've heard of this park. There's been people building it for a long time.
Well, let's our last item before we have to take a break, and that is Venus Rising. Williams back in the Grand Slam. Just like in the old days, Williams will be joined by the Wimbledon semifinals by a familiar face, younger sister Serena Williams. Now, we're running a little bit late. I've got to take a commercial break. When we come back, I'll get into some in-depth news with you. Don't go away. We'll be right back. We've got a lot of great show for you today.
If you want to increase your client base and sales, then consider this, the Relationship Building Network at RBN. Given the current economic conditions and challenges, we all need to work smarter, make smarter decisions, invest our hard-earned dollars where it'll yield the best return for our investment. Many business professionals claim that the most effective networking group in Orange County is RBN. No other networking group or organization can offer what RBN offers. Make every year your best year. Join RBN and start reaping the benefits today. Nearly 3,000 businesses have joined RBN and experienced those benefits. Why join RBN? It's one group. It's one membership. It's no renewals. It's all through Orange County. RBN is a freestyle networking group. No mandatory attendance, no restrictions, no rules, and no penalties. Call them at 949-830-5776 or go to their website at rbninfo.com. That's 949-830-5776. If you've ever dreamed of having your own business to make your life secure, Water's Edge Wineries might be just the ticket. In 2004, their founder, Ken Lineberger, created the first winery franchise in California. It was a new concept with all of the functionality of a traditional winery, but without the vineyards. They purchased high-quality grape must from one of the largest winemaking companies in the world. Then they craft each wine carefully and bottle it right at their location. The winery was built to satisfy consumer demand for wine by the bottle and by the glass, but still kept the element of allowing customers to bottle their own custom vintage. Now, they're opening urban wineries across the United States under the brand Water's Edge Wineries. If you've ever dreamed of owning your own winery, it may be in reach right now through Water's Edge Wineries. Just give them a call at 909-468-9463, extension 700. That's Water's Edge Wineries, 909-468-9463. Have you ever found yourself caught between a rock and a hard place? The law offices of Blomberg, Benson & Garrett might be just the answer for you. The attorneys of Blomberg, Benson & Garrett have been serving the Inland Empire since 1989. They're dedicated to the aggressive litigation of civil, criminal, and real estate matters. Over the years, they have recovered tens of millions of dollars for their clients. The firm's practice specializes in litigation of personal injury, accident, slip and fall, real estate, and criminal law cases. The firm provides clients with the care, accuracy, and dedication of experienced attorneys. Blomberg, Benson & Garrett is located at 10300 4th Street, Suite 150 in Rancho Cucamonga, California. They've been providing the Inland Empire residents with outstanding legal services for over 25 years. They look forward to providing you with aggressive legal representation. Call them at 909-945-5000, where you can talk to a person, not a machine. That's 909-945-5000, the law offices of Blomberg, Benson & Garrett. And now let's get back to our show where we talk about politics, money, and you.
And I am Robert Cardoza. You're listening to Robert Cardoza Live on the street at the intersection of business and politics. I'm here with my co-host, my grandson, Joey, who became a teenager on Monday. Joey, let's get into the news a little more in depth. What do you think?
I think that's great.
All right.
Possibly not the news stories, though.
Okay. Well, there's no end to the Afghan war. Obama slows the U.S. withdrawal. President Barack Obama scrapped plans today to cut American forces in Afghanistan by half before leaving office, a dispiriting blow to his hopes of extricating the United States after 15 years of fighting. He said he'll leave 8,400 troops to address the country's precarious security situation. Obama's new drawdown plan announces alongside top military leaders reinforced the likelihood that the United States will remain entangled in Afghanistan for years to come as America works to suppress a resurgent Taliban and train a still struggling Afghan military. Indeed, Obama said, his goal was to ensure the next president has the foundation and flexibility to fight terrorism there as it evolves. Well, that would be the right thing to do, I would say, I got an interesting thing going on here, Joe. You know what Siri is, right?
Yeah, I know Siri.
Yeah, and every once in a while, I'm on the show and I'm doing this stuff, and I start talking, and I notice that she comes on my phone and tries to listen to what I'm saying. She's typing up everything I'm saying and trying to answer it, and all I'm really trying to do is my show.
Siri's weird.
Okay, hey, don't say her name. She'll pop back up here again. Anyway, let's talk about Muslims worldwide struggle to comprehend a violent Ramadan. You know what? As Muslims celebrate the end of Ramadan, many are struggling to comprehend a wave of attacks that killed 350 people across several countries during the holy month and raised the question of what drives the militants to ever more spectacular violence. The high-profile attacks underline the warnings by many experts that the Islamic State group, especially when on the defensive, will metastasize far beyond its theater of operations. Well, no question about that. And let's see what else we've got cooking in here. You know what? Here's one for you. The feds opened civil rights investigation in the Louisiana shooting. In a swift move by authorities to keep tensions from boiling over, the United States Justice Department launched a civil rights investigation today into the video-recorded killing of a black man who was shot as he scuffled with two white police officers on the pavement outside a convenience store. A law enforcement official said a gun was taken from 37-year-old Alton Sterling after he was killed early Tuesday in the parking lot where he regularly sold homemade music CDs from a folding table. The official was not authorized to discuss the investigation and spoke on condition of anonymity. That seems to always be the case, but it's kind of a murky situation going on there. We're not really sure what's happening. That's for sure. Anyway, let's see here. Here's the one that just make your day. Justice Department closes Clinton email probe with no charges. Attorney General Loretta Lynch says the Hillary Clinton email investigation is being closed without any criminal charges. Lynch announced the Justice Department decision today, one day after FBI Director James Comey recommended against prosecution. The decision was largely a formality given Comey's public statement on the case. Lynch said last week that she intended to accept whatever recommendation and findings were presented by the FBI and by her career prosecutors. Boy, isn't that something? Boy, it just seems like there's one law for the rest of us, Joe, and another law for the Clintons. Just seems to be the way it goes, huh?
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Well, you know what? I think what we're going to do is we're going to get rid of the news. We're running a little bit late anyway, and we're going to take a short break. When we come back, though, we're going to get into my very favorite subject, and that would be
the IRS loses.
The IRS loses. So don't go away. When we come back, it's the IRS loses. The first case here is one spouse can contest the other's innocence even after death. I'll tell you all about it right after these brief messages. Do not go away.
Isn't it time to shine the spotlight on your expertise? The Interview, starring you. Here's your chance to capture 5 minutes of fame with The Interview. This isn't just any interview. This is your opportunity to showcase your expertise and position yourself as a trusted expert in a one-on-one video interview hosted by Robert Cardoza, host of the nationally syndicated show Robert Cardoza Live and powered by AHA Studios. What is it? A professionally recorded video for your use. Robert Cardoza interviews you on the set where he records his show. Professional interview showcases your expertise and value, shot in a state-of-the-art studio. And what's in it for you? Gain credibility as an expert, earn the trust of your target market, educate in a way that intrigues your audience, gain a powerful marketing tool that offers dozens of uses, website, video sharing sites, social media, email, DVDs, direct mail, lobby video, resumes, profile building, all that kind of stuff. Association with the nationally syndicated celebrity. That's right. And let's talk about AHA Studios. AHA is a strategic marketing firm that leverages the powerful and visual persuasion to help your business create powerful messages that connect with your target market. AHA ventures way beyond strategy, delivering the marketing collateral you need to start driving a new business through your doors. AHA has a full-service, in-house, state-of-the-art production studio to bring your messages to life using video. Discover how to make The Interview work for you. Call 949-831-2222. That's 949-831-2222. AHA Image Studios Incorporated. Dr. Stephen Tidwell, Gentle Family Dentistry in a caring, personalized environment. Here at Dr. Tidwell's office, we are dedicated to helping you keep your teeth healthy. We are a state-of-the-art dental practice that still believes in traditional values, such as excellent customer service and individual attention. We have a special welcoming offer for you for just $39, a complete exam, personal consultation, professional cleaning, and all necessary x-rays. That's a $266 value for $39. Dr. Tidwell has 2 convenient locations and experienced staff to provide you with professional care and personal attention that you deserve. Call today. Don't delay. A great smile another day. Call 909-944-7308. That's 909-944-7308 for Rancho Cucamonga or San Bernardino. Joel Saltzman is Dr. Wireless. He has turned his considerable expertise into consumer credit risk and wireless security into a highly specialized independent web-based consulting enterprise targeting consumer credit risk analysis and wireless transactional security and monitoring. He works as a wireless analyst, veteran independent agent, and consumer liaison for most wireless telecom carriers and equipment manufacturers. For more than 20 years, corporate and private clients and media audiences have counted on his unvarnished advice while weighing the technology, performance, and cost differences between Sprint, Nextel, AT&T, Verizon, and T-Mobile. Joel specializes in setting up mobile wireless hotspots to be used for disaster preparedness, business continuity, and mobile wireless merchant processing solutions. Call Dr. Wireless at 310-400-4900 or go to his webpage at drwireless.com. Again, call 310-400-4900 or his webpage at drwireless.com. You'll be glad you did. And now, back to our show.
The story you are about to see is true. The names have been changed to protect the innocent.
Okay, here we are, my favorite part of the show, the IRS loses. Sends chills up and down my spine. Just makes me smile and feel warm and fuzzy all over. Let's get to the first case. First case is the IRS loses. One spouse can contest the other's innocence even after death. Here's the story. The IRS assessed tax on a joint return filed by a couple who had since divorced. Now, the wife said that she was an innocent spouse and that the tax bill was due entirely to her husband, so he alone should be liable for it. Well, the IRS, as required by law, sought to inform the husband to enable him to intervene to defend his interest in the innocent spouse proceeding, but he died. So here's the question. Did the right to intervene die with the husband, or did it pass to his estate and his heirs? Well, here's what the tax court actually said. Since the husband's survivors may be harmed by the wife's claim, the right to intervene passes to them, the IRS must make an effort to find and notify them. Only makes sense, doesn't it? Sure it does. Now, how about this? The IRS loses. The position that was initially reasonable became unreasonable. Here's the case. A woman defeated the IRS in court and asked the court to order the IRS to pay her legal fees. Now, the IRS answered that its position had been reasonable in the case, so it shouldn't owe the fees. Well, they went to court. This is what the judge said. The IRS's position in the case originally was reasonable, but after new facts were developed in court, the IRS's central office that specializes in this kind of dispute advised the IRS's litigators to concede. Well, instead, they continued to pursue the case. At that point, the IRS's position became unreasonable. Therefore, the woman is entitled to have it pay the legal fees that she incurred after that point. Makes sense to me. And one more case for the IRS. They lose. Late receipt of a tax notice gives extra chance to an appeal. Here's the case. The IRS sent a deficiency notice to a couple giving them 90 days to go to tax court to fight a tax bill, but they had moved and received the notice only 12 days before the actual deadline. When they didn't file in court, the IRS acted to collect the tax. Now, the couple then asked for a collection due process hearing and to argue against the case or the tax bill on its merits, but the IRS said that they had lost the right to fight the tax when they didn't go to court, and they should be allowed to discuss only how to pay it at the hearing. Well, this is what the judge said. 12 days is just not enough time to file a case in court, so the IRS must listen to and consider the merits of a couple's case after the hearing. Now, that just makes good common sense. The IRS just continues to try to get away with murder in these cases, and that's what's going on. Now, you've heard me talk about being a fly on the wall when the IRS does things. That's where we're at right now with this segment we call Inside the IRS, just a little bit like the Twilight Zone. Now, these are not tax court cases, but these are precedents and things that the IRS has come out and acknowledged, and you can actually use this information for yourself if you're smart enough and you can apply it that way. Now, here's the first thing that we've got on our list, and that is volunteer preparer foul-ups. You know, according to a recently released report by the Treasury Inspector General, more than half of the tax returns prepared by the federal government's Volunteer Income Tax Assistance Program, it's a VITA program, last year for the last year's filing season were actually inaccurate. The Inspector General based his report on the results of a test sample of 36 tax returns. 22 of the 36 were found to contain errors. In recent years, the IRS has been criticized for delegating too much of its own responsibility for taxpayer service to volunteers who lack the experience to gather the proper information and apply the appropriate tax law. So here's a lesson for you. You get what you pay for. Don't ever forget it. Well, let's talk about some fringe benefits. Did you know that there's some post-9/11 tax-free working condition fringe benefits that are recognized by the IRS? And even though 9/11 was way back in 2001, they're still valid today. You know, special security precautions provided by companies to their senior executives may not be fully subject to income tax. For example, employer-provided vehicles fitted with bulletproof glass, chauffeurs trained in evasive driving techniques, armed bodyguards, and the use of private aircraft for personal trips may all be considered working condition fringe benefits as defined by the tax code and regulations. Well, special rules define what portion of the benefit is subject to tax and what portion is tax-free. There's an important rule for you. The employer must establish an overall security program, which generally means that the employee is protected 24 hours a day. Yeah, and that's the way that it actually has to be. And you know what? They don't get to pull their own stuff. That's just not a reasonable way for this to go. The IRS just isn't allowed to do that. Well, you know what? We're going to take a short break. When we come back, though, I'm going to talk to you about a summertime home and travel tax breaks that you're going to be interested in. You're going to find these pretty unique, and you're going to find them very, very interesting as well. So don't go away. We'll be right back after these brief messages.
If you want to increase your client base and sales, then consider this, the Relationship Building Network at RBN. Given the current economic conditions and challenges, we all need to work smarter, make smarter decisions, invest our hard-earned dollars where it'll yield the best return for our investment. Many business professionals claim that the most effective networking group in Orange County is RBN. No other networking group or organization can offer what RBN offers. Make every year your best year. Join RBN and start reaping the benefits today. Nearly 3,000 businesses have joined RBN and experienced those benefits. Why join RBN? It's one group. It's one membership. It's no renewals. It's all through Orange County. RBN is a freestyle networking group. No mandatory attendance, no restrictions, no rules, and no penalties. Call them at 949-830-5776 or go to their website at rbninfo.com. That's 949-830-5776. If you've ever dreamed of having your own business to make your life secure, Water's Edge Wineries might be just the ticket. In 2004, their founder, Ken Lineberger, created the first winery franchise in California. It was a new concept with all of the functionality of a traditional winery, but without the vineyards. They purchased high-quality grape must from one of the largest winemaking companies in the world. Then they craft each wine carefully and bottle it right at their location. The winery was built to satisfy consumer demand for wine by the bottle and by the glass, but still kept the element of allowing customers to bottle their own custom vintage. Now, they're opening urban wineries across the United States under the brand Water's Edge Wineries. If you've ever dreamed of owning your own winery, it may be in reach right now through Water's Edge Wineries. Just give them a call at 909-468-9463, extension 700. That's Water's Edge Wineries, 909-468-9463. Have you ever found yourself caught between a rock and a hard place? The law offices of Blomberg, Benson, and Garrett might be just the answer for you. The attorneys of Blomberg, Benson, and Garrett have been serving the Inland Empire since 1989. They're dedicated to the aggressive litigation of civil, criminal, and real estate matters. Over the years, they have recovered tens of millions of dollars for their clients. The firm's practice specializes in litigation of personal injury, accident, slip and fall, real estate, and criminal law cases. The firm provides clients with the care, accuracy, and dedication of experienced attorneys. Blomberg, Benson, and Garrett is located at 10300 4th Street, Suite 150 in Rancho Cucamonga, California. They've been providing the Inland Empire residents with outstanding legal services for over 25 years. They look forward to providing you with aggressive legal representation. Call them at 909-945-5000, where you can talk to a person, not a machine. That's 909-945-5000, the law offices of Blomberg, Benson, and Garrett. And now let's get back to our show where we talk about politics, money, and you.
And I am Robert Cardoza. You're listening to Robert Cardoza live on the street at the intersection of business and politics. We're at 3:32 p.m. Pacific time. Currently 87 degrees here in the heart of the Inland Empire in sunny Southern California. Well, it says it's down from 89 degrees on its way to 59 degrees. But if you're listening to us on our globally syndicated network and you're in New York City, and this is not a barbecue sauce we're talking about, it's 87 degrees and it is clear. And if you're in Chicago, Illinois, it's 88 degrees and mostly cloudy, and in both places, it's humid, Joe.
Huh.
Yeah,
I imagine so.
Yes, it is. And you know what? Let's talk about a summertime home and travel tax breaks. These are some things that I just thought you'd be a little interested in. So let's give this a go, shall we? Summertime is the prime time for many people to enjoy vacation homes and travel. And vacation time is even more enjoyable if you can finance it with tax-free income and take tax deductions for your expenses. There's some opportunities here. Let's talk about home and vacation home, that kind of stuff. Tax-free income from your home or vacation home. If you rent out your home and or a second home that you own, such as a vacation home, to other people for fewer than 15 days during the year, the rental income that you receive is going to be totally tax-free. You don't even have to report it on your tax return. This is one of the simplest and best ways or tax breaks that you can get in the tax code. Just think in terms of maybe you own a vacation home and you also own a company, and you decide to have an annual retreat for your top executives at this vacation home. You just have that retreat for 15 days or less, and you can deduct whatever fee you decide is appropriate for that meeting to have it take place at your home. A little bit of what Donald Trump was doing when he was having these functions at his own hotels while he's running for president. So it's a good way to go. How about vacation planning? You know, a special event, a sports competition, concert, that kind of stuff, draws tourists to an area where you live, or there's a high season during which rentals are highest where your vacation home's located. Rent your home, vacation home out at that time for up to 2 weeks and use the tax-free income to receive to finance your own vacation. You can, if you happen to be have a home that's in an Olympic venue, you can get thousands and thousands of dollars a week. That'll pay for a lot of vacation if you think about it and what's going on there. And it doesn't have to be a fancy home. Now, how about mortgage deduction for buying a boat, recreational vehicle, an RV, or a vacation home? You can deduct interest on a total of up to $1 million of mortgage borrowing used to acquire your primary personal residence and a second residence. Now, here's the opportunity. The second residence may be a boat or an RV, not just a conventional vacation home. Now, to qualify as a residence, the boat or RV must have living accommodations, including a sleeping space, a kitchen, and a bathroom facility, and you must use it more than 14 days a year. Property taxes, if any, are including a boat or on an RV as well. So keep that in mind. It can actually be the registration fees. Now, how about a vacation home or tax shelter? If you rent out your vacation home for more than 14 days during the year, all of the income that you receive is taxable, but you also become entitled to deduct expenses related to your rental activity. So here's an example for that. Depreciation, maintenance costs, utilities, insurance, advertising, that kind of stuff. To get full deductions, you must limit your own use of the home to no more than the greater of 14 days or 10% of the number of days that it's actually rented to other people. If your deductions exceed the rental income you receive, up to $25,000 of this excess can be deducted against your income from other sources, such as salary. Now, this adjusted income increases from $100,000 to $150,000, which it slowly moves down. Well, this tax loss deduction can turn your vacation home into a legal tax shelter. You can claim it even as the home appreciates in value, and even if it provides you with positive cash flow. Depreciation is a deduction with no cash cost to it, so it can result in a tax loss even if rent is giving you a net cash income. Now, deduction rules can be complex, so check with them with the IRS publication number 527. That's residential rental property. How about tax-free gain bonus? If you buy a vacation home in a popular area that increases in value over the years, you may be able to sell it in the future for the same tax-free gain of up to $250,000. That's $500,000 on a joint return that is available on primary residences. How? Move into it and use it as your primary residence for at least 2 of the 5 years before you sell it. If you sell your original primary residence, move into your vacation home and then sell that one. This can give you two such tax-free gains in a period of just over 2 years. Now, the minimum time allowed between tax-free home sales. In this way, a vacation home subsidized by the IRS with all of the tax breaks mentioned above may add to your tax-favored retirement wealth as well. Because obviously, if you've done the math and you're married, That's $1 million tax-free. That's not a bad deal. How about travel tactics? Combining business with pleasure can give generous business expense deductions for a business trip that has a substantial pleasure element, even if you bring a personal companion. So the basic rule, if the primary reason for a trip made within the United States is for business, you can deduct the full cost of travel to and from your destination and also hotel costs at your destination, even if the trip contains a significant pleasure element. Well, you can even have days on which you do no business if they're between business days, such as a weekend between a Friday and a Monday, on which you do business, or a holiday weekday, such as July the 4th or Labor Day. And now take note, you can't deduct the extra cost of non-business side trips or purely recreational expenses, such as sports events, tickets, and that kind of stuff. If you extend your stay for personal reasons, you can't deduct hotel costs incurred for those extra days. Now, how about foreign travel? Well, different rules apply when you travel outside the United States. You can deduct the full cost of travel to and from your destination if travel's viewed as entirely for business. Now, some ways to qualify. Travel lasts no more than 7 days. Travel is more than a week, but you spend no more than 25% of that time on non-business activities. Business days are those in which you actually perform business. They include days spent traveling to and from your destination, provided the day after you arrive and the day before you leave are business days. So, plan vacation days in the middle of a trip rather than next to the travel days. If you fail both of these tests, then your deduction for travel expenses is limited to the proportion of travel expenses that matches the percentage of trip days that were business days plus actual business day expenses. Here's an example of that. Let's just say you spend 30 days in Paris, 20 of which are business days. You can deduct 2/3 of the cost of traveling there and back, along with the expenses of the 20 business days. And also, let's talk about companions' expenses. If you travel with a companion, you can still deduct the full cost that you would have incurred if you had traveled alone, and the extra cost of bringing a spouse along may just be slight. Here's an example of that. You can deduct the full cost of a single hotel room. Even a double room costs only a little more, and full cost of the rental car that you would incur traveling alone, even if having a companion adds no cost. The full cost of a single airfare, even if the cost of 2 tickets is little more than one due to the family fare discount. You can also sometimes claim business meal and entertainment deductions for a spouse or other personal companion who travels with you. So let me give you an example of that. Let's just say that your spouse accompanies you on a business trip into a business meal and entertainment activity, such as theater performance after the meal, that you attend with a business associate and the associate spouse. Since the associate spouse is there, your spouse can be considered to be there on a business basis to help entertain. Even if the associate does not bring a companion, your spouse's attendance for business purposes, perhaps he or she is a native of the associate's country. All 4 people is deductible under normal meals and entertainment rules, with 50% of the cost being deductible. The net result, if you travel with a companion, you may be able to deduct much more than half of your total trip. That's a good deal, folks, so pay attention to it. How about conventions? If your trip is not to a business meeting, but to a business convention held within North America, normal business travel deductions are going to apply. The rules are anyway. And this is true even if the convention or seminar is held at a location noted for its entertainment, such as Las Vegas. Now, the North American area includes Canada, Mexico, several Caribbean nations, and certain Pacific Island locations. So the requirement? The business convention or seminar must specifically relate to your business or profession. If you attend a business convention held outside the North American area, no deduction is going to be allowed unless you can show that it is reasonable for the convention to be held outside North America. You must show a justification for its location. You cannot deduct trips for personal investment purposes, such as conventions, seminars, or shareholder meetings. Now, for more details and rules about deducting business travel, in exceptions that apply in special circumstances, go to IRS publication 463. That's travel, entertainment, gift, and car expenses. Now, you heard me talk about you could, under some circumstances, travel outside of the United States to, let's say, Paris or Germany or I should say France or Germany or Spain, and those places. Let's just say you're a doctor and you're a noted specialist and you're giving you've been asked to give a speech or a seminar on a particular procedure or a particular issue that you're doing. That, under those circumstances, is a business trip and it's totally deductible, and you can write that whole thing off. So keep that in mind as you move along in these areas. Well, Joe, how are we doing so far?
I think we're doing great.
Yeah, we're still running a little bit early. We caught up for a little bit of this stuff. But you know what? I think when we come back, Joey, I want to answer some emails, and we'll get that done. And then after that, it'll be our own Joel Saltzman, Dr. Wireless, will be here to talk about new wireless technology. He's always got a plethora of things to talk about. Have I stuck you?
Yes.
That's a variety, a large variety.
A plethora.
A plethora.
Yes.
A plethora. Now, okay, folks, don't go away. When we come back, it's emails for you folks, and you're going to love the ones that we have. The first one is, if I can find my place here, the first one is actually from Luis Rios from Linden, New Jersey, asking about non-custodial parents. And I'll tell you all about that right after these brief messages. You're not going to want to miss it. I guarantee it.
Isn't it time to shine the spotlight on your expertise? The Interview, starring you. Here's your chance to capture 5 minutes of fame with The Interview. This isn't just any interview. This is your opportunity to showcase your expertise and position yourself as a trusted expert in a one-on-one video interview hosted by Robert Cardoza, host of the nationally syndicated show Robert Cardoza Live and powered by AHA Studios. What is it? A professionally recorded video for your use. Robert Cardoza interviews you on the set where he records his show. Professional interview showcases your expertise and value, shot in a state-of-the-art studio. And what's in it for you? Gain credibility as an expert, earn the trust of your target market, educate in a way that intrigues your audience, gain a powerful marketing tool that offers dozens of uses, website, video sharing sites, social media, email, DVDs, direct mail, lobby video, resumes, profile building, all that kind of stuff. Association with the nationally syndicated celebrity. That's right. And let's talk about AHA Studios. AHA is a strategic marketing firm that leverages the powerful and visual persuasion to help your business create powerful messages that connect with your target market. AHA ventures way beyond strategy, delivering the marketing collateral you need to start driving a new business through your doors. AHA has a full-service, in-house, state-of-the-art production studio to bring your messages to life using video. Discover how to make The Interview work for you. Call 949-831-2222. That's 949-831-2222. AHA Image Studios, Incorporated. Dr. Stephen Tidwell, Gentle Family Dentistry in a caring, personalized environment. Here at Dr. Tidwell's office, we are dedicated to helping you keep your teeth healthy. We are a state-of-the-art dental practice that still believes in traditional values, such as excellent customer service and individual attention. We have a special welcoming offer for you for just $39, a complete exam, personal consultation, professional cleaning, and all necessary x-rays. That's a $266 value for $39. Dr. Tidwell has 2 convenient locations and experienced staff to provide you with professional care and personal attention that you deserve. Call today. Don't delay. A great smile another day. Call 909-944-7308. That's 909-944-7308 for Rancho Cucamonga or San Bernardino. Joel Saltzman is Dr. Wireless. He has turned his considerable expertise into consumer credit risk and wireless security into a highly specialized independent web-based consulting enterprise targeting consumer credit risk analysis and wireless transactional security and monitoring. He works as a wireless analyst, veteran independent agent, and consumer liaison for most wireless telecom carriers and equipment manufacturers. For more than 20 years, corporate and private clients and media audiences have counted on his unvarnished advice while weighing the technology, performance, and cost differences between Sprint, Nextel, AT&T, Verizon, and T-Mobile. Joel specializes in setting up mobile wireless hotspots to be used for disaster preparedness, business continuity, and mobile wireless merchant processing solutions. Call Dr. Wireless at 310-400-4900 or go to his webpage at drwireless.com. Again, call 310-400-4900 or his webpage at drwireless.com. You'll be glad you did. And now, back to our show.
And I am Robert Cardoza. You're listening to Robert Cardoza Live on the street at the intersection of business and politics. And you know what? That was a school bell. It's because I want to answer some of your emails, and I thought it would be appropriate. Besides, it's one of those sound effects that I just have never done before, so I guess why not, right?
Yeah, why not? Try it out.
I've got, and when I'm all done, Joey, I've got this one that I love. Listen to this. It never ends, right?
It's the longest squirrel laugh.
Yeah. All right. Listen. So let's get to this email segment here. The first one that I've got is like that from Luis Rios from Linden, New Jersey. He's talking about non-custodial parents, and he says, My ex-wife and I have a child who lives with her. If I pay most of our child support, can I claim the dependency exemption? Can I also file as head of household to get a lower tax rate? Good luck anyway, Liz. You can claim the dependency exemption as a non-custodial parent if your wife signs Form 8332. That's release of claim to exemption for a child of divorced or separated parents. Now, while you cannot file as the head of household because the child did not live with you for more than half the year, your wife might be eligible. So take a look at publication 501, exemptions, standard deductions, and filing information. Now, also, you might want to know, you want to be careful with that Form 8332. There's actually two boxes there. One allows you to take that exemption this year only, and the other one, if you accidentally check it, gives you the exemption for life. So, you know what? That could be a real problem, so give that some thought. How about this email? Comes from Emily Roldan from Baltimore, Maryland, asking about conditional gifts. You know what a conditional gift is, Joe?
I think so.
This is something really important for a young man of 13 to know. So we're going to tell you. It says, if I give my fiance a valuable engagement ring, will it be subject to gift tax?
Oh.
Okay, well, you know what? You can make gifts worth up to $13,000 to any individual annually and not owe gift tax. Now, if you marry in the year that you give the ring, it's also okay because spouses' gifts to each other are totally tax-free, and marital status at the end of the year governs what the status is for the entire year. So if you got married December 31st, the government said you got married for the whole year. Now, if the ring's worth more than $13,000 and you don't marry in the year that you give it, state law is going to determine whether it's a gift or not. In some states, an engagement ring is deemed a conditional gift that must be returned if no wedding occurs. So no federal gift tax would actually apply. But in a state where the gift of the ring is deemed a completed gift that the recipient is entitled to keep, even if there is no marriage, then there's a gift tax, and that gift tax is 45%. That's a big deal of the value of that. Well, next email comes from Giovanni Russo. We're going to be talking about a Giovanni in the rest of our story here today. And Giovanni he's from Danville, Virginia, asking about IRA contributions and says, I made a $4,000 contribution to a traditional IRA last year. At year end, I got a bonus that made my income too high to deduct the contribution because I'm a participant in a qualified plan. Can I take it out of the IRA? Well, you can withdraw the contribution and the earnings that accrued on it within the IRA without penalty if you did it by April the 15th or October the 15th if you had an extension. Now, the withdrawal of the contribution will be tax-free while the earnings will be taxable income. But you can leave the contribution and earnings in the IRA by simply not deducting the contribution. It will then continue to earn tax-free deferred investment returns, and $4,000 of your future IRA withdrawals are going to be tax tax-free on the proportional basis. So if you make a non-deductible contribution, record it by filing Form 8606. That's non-deductible IRAs. Well, my final email comes from Sam Salas, I guess it is, from Bellflower, California, asking about innocent spouse, and says, it must be Samantha. And she says, my husband has been cheating on his taxes. If I file a separate return, can I avoid being liable? Well, Samantha, for the current year, if you file as married filing separately, you're going to owe tax only on your own separate income, not on your husband's income. However, if your husband cheated in past years and you filed joint returns for those years, you can switch to filing separately for those years. You cannot switch to filing separately for those years, because after filing a separate return, after filing a separate return, you can switch to married filing jointly, but you can't do it the other way around. You can still switch to filing a joint return, but you may still escape liability for your husband's taxes on your past joint returns by claiming innocent spouse status. So take a look at IRS Publication 971. That's Innocent Spouse Relief, and consult a tax pro before you do anything on this light. Now, let's see, where are we here, Joe? We are we're about 3 minutes early. What do you want to talk about?
I don't know. What do you want to talk about?
We could talk about, I'd like to get your feelings as a teenager about the finding of the FBI Director Comey's decision not to recommend prosecution against Hillary Clinton for the misuse of her emails.
I think that there are reasons that he would say that, but I also think that there is. It's not exactly fair.
Not fair to the rest of us 300 million Americans who would be thrown in jail.
Yeah, if one of us had done it, we'd be in prison. And especially when the FBI director said, "We're not going to press charges, but she's guilty of all these things."
Yeah. You know what? Just seems to me that there's a double standard there, and you know what? And forgetting about the political part of it, whether you like Hillary Clinton or you don't like Hillary Clinton, and this is really not the issue. The fact is that they're getting special treatment here. All of a sudden, you hear that Hillary Clinton is saying to Loretta Lynch, the current Attorney General, that if Hillary Clinton wins the presidency, which she wouldn't have a chance of doing if she were indicted, that she's going to probably keep Loretta Lynch as the Attorney General for another 4 or 8 years. Isn't and I think Donald Trump said it in a news conference. Isn't that bribery? I think that's bribery. You know what? If I'm not indicted, you'll be the next Attorney General for my administration.
I think it depends. I think that we're not exactly getting the whole story here as usual. I think that there's a lot of stuff. I think there's a lot of stuff that looks like conspiracy that's not conspiracy. I'm not saying that that's not conspiracy. Mm-hmm. And there's a lot of stuff that doesn't look like conspiracy that is conspiracy. Yeah. But in this case, the FBI director, while he said he wasn't going to recommend prosecution, said that she was guilty of violating the law in the way that she blatantly handled her emails, and that she lied under oath about how many emails and how many servers and how many phones and things she was using. You know what? I think she's just guilty of sin, and I just don't think it should be condoned. Just that's just me, right? Conspiracy is the wrong word. Political maneuvering, I'm thinking. Yeah, is probably manipulation. Political manipulation. Yeah. So, you know what, and I'm wondering, it's interesting, generally by this time, Joel Saltzman would have called into the show. I'm not sure I know why he hasn't, and generally, he blames it on me. He says that he tries to call me and he can't get through, but I just don't think that's the case. Let's give him a call. Yeah, let's call in now. I'll just send him an email and say, "Hey, Joel, it's time for you to call in because I'm going to a commercial break. And when we come back, we will be with Joel Saltzman, Dr. Wireless." Don't go away, folks.
If you want to increase your client base and sales, then consider this. The Relationship Building Network at RBN. Given the current economic conditions and challenges, we all need to work smarter, make smarter decisions, invest our hard-earned dollars where it'll yield the best return for our investment. Many business professionals claim that the most effective networking group in Orange County is RBN. No other networking group or organization can offer what RBN offers. Make every year your best year. Join RBN and start reaping the benefits today. Nearly 3,000 businesses have joined RBN and experienced those benefits. Why join RBN? It's one group. It's one membership. It's no renewals. It's all through Orange County. RBN is a freestyle networking group. No mandatory attendance, no restrictions, no rules, and no penalties. Call them at 949-830-5776 or go to their website at rbninfo.com. That's 949-830-5776. If you've ever dreamed of having your own business to make your life secure, Water's Edge Wineries might be just the ticket. In 2004, their founder, Ken Lineberger, created the first winery franchise in California. It was a new concept with all of the functionality of a traditional winery, but without the vineyards. They purchased high-quality grape must from one of the largest winemaking companies in the world. Then they craft each wine carefully and bottle it right at their location. The winery was built to satisfy consumer demand for wine by the bottle and by the glass, but still kept the element of allowing customers to bottle their own custom vintage. Now, they're opening urban wineries across the United States under the brand Water's Edge Wineries. If you've ever dreamed of owning your own winery, it may be in reach right now through Water's Edge Wineries. Just give them a call at 909-468-9463, extension 700. That's Water's Edge Wineries, 909-468-9463. Have you ever found yourself caught between a rock and a hard place? The law offices of Blomberg, Benson, and Garrett might be just the answer for you. The attorneys of Blomberg, Benson, and Garrett have been serving the Inland Empire since 1989. They're dedicated to the aggressive litigation of civil, criminal, and real estate matters. Over the years, they have recovered tens of millions of dollars for their clients. The firm's practice specializes in litigation of personal injury, accident, slip and fall, real estate, and criminal law cases. The firm provides clients with the care, accuracy, and dedication of experienced attorneys. Blomberg, Benson, and Garrett is located at 10300 4th Street, Suite 150 in Rancho Cucamonga, California. They've been providing the Inland Empire residents with outstanding legal services for over 25 years. They look forward to providing you with aggressive legal representation. Call them at 909-945-5000, where you can talk to a person, not a machine. That's 909-945-5000, the law offices of Blomberg, Benson, and Garrett. And now let's get back to our show where we talk about politics, money, and you.
And I am Robert Cardoza. You're listening to Robert Cardoza live on the street at the intersection of business and politics. We're at 4 p.m. Pacific time, currently 87 degrees here in the heart of the Inland Empire in sunny Southern California. Well, all of a sudden, this looks like the high temperature keeps climbing. It was 91 degrees. It is going down to 58. If you're listening to us on our globally syndicated network and you're in Rome, Italy, 73 degrees and partly cloudy. And if you're in London, England, it is, good Lord, it's 84 degrees and it is clear. But you know what? There is nothing but good weather over the head of my next guest or my next contributor. This man has probably gotten his toes wet today and is just thinking about going back out and doing it again. Please welcome our own Dr. Wireless, Joel Saltzman. Hey, Joel, you sitting out there?
Guilty as charged, Robert.
All right, so you did get your toes wet this morning.
I got my toes wet all the way up to my ankles. There was no surf today, so I had to go for a harbor paddle in King Harbor this afternoon and for lunchtime. So toes and ankles got wet, nothing else.
Now, how do you explain no surf?
Well, that happens sometimes. We're in between swells. We should have something probably by Friday, but it's very small. As we would say, it's 8 to 10 occasional foot. 8 to 10 inches, that is.
Yeah, I mean, which is nothing, right?
Which is nothing. But, it doesn't matter because there is so much stuff going on in the world of wireless right now that sometimes you got to do a little work.
Yeah.
And that's what I've been doing all day.
Well, you know what? There's nothing like earning money. A lot better than making it. The difference between earning money and making money is 10 years away from home.
Well, I don't know if I'm making or earning or doing anything with money. As soon as I can learn how to make money flapping my gums, then I'll be a rich man. But I haven't been able to do that up till now, as far as I know.
All right. So listen, what's new and exciting in the wireless world today?
Oh, my God. T-Mobile introduced some new rates, which are really good. Verizon even introduced some new rates. And, with Verizon, it's always like sweet and sour. It's the sweet is they're offering more data. They're introducing some cool new features like throttling and rollover, but that's only on their highest of plans. The bad news is everything's going to cost $5 to $10 more. So I'll go over that stuff in detail. We'll talk about T-Mobile today and what they've done. They've got some new deals. We'll talk about a new iOS 10 threat for Mac, a new malware virus, a new Android virus. We got BlackBerry, who you probably heard about, no longer making the classic QWERTY keyboard they're famous for.
No, I didn't hear that.
Oh yeah, BlackBerry just announced that the Classic, which was the last model with the old school touch QWERTY keypad, is being discontinued, and that means there's only one device left that even features BlackBerry software, and that's the Passport model. It's got the BlackBerry 10. Everything else BlackBerry's doing now is Android. Wow. And quite frankly, I think they're dummies for even trying to make equipment that's really not their claim to fame anymore. The QWERTY keyboard was their claim to fame, and internet email was their claim to fame. And they've got a lot of software and patents, and I think they should be selling software and developing, email platforms. And
you know what? In all my marketing classes, all I ever heard was just sell your strength, right? And it sounds to me like they're giving up their strength.
Well, their strength is, Robert, in all fairness, IBM made a very, very good typewriter in its day. Yeah. I don't care how good that typewriter is today. They're not going to be selling too many typewriters. and that's the issue. Who wants to use a QWERTY keyboard? Now these keypads are so good. The touch keypads are no larger and, error correction and all kinds of cool features. I think it's kind of passed them by.
Gotcha.
So, and then we've got Google and Twitter. They're getting into the instant object recognition markets, buying up startups, I should say. So we got all kinds of cool stuff happening.
You know what? Is there really legitimately ever an end in sight or a limitation to the technology that's coming out? I mean, wouldn't it be interesting to be a fly on the wall when you're in the research and development departments of Google or Microsoft or any of these big companies? Wouldn't it be nice to be a fly on the wall in those departments to see what's coming up in 10 years, which they already are working on?
It would be pretty fascinating. But I got to ask you a question. Was that your grandson I was listening to earlier?
Yeah, that was Joey.
Who was so politically astute?
Yeah, and he's sitting here actually weighing his words, saying, "Well, I didn't want to be too controversial. I didn't want to be too tough." But Joey just turned 13 on the 4th of July.
I was just going to ask you that. You know what? If the American public had half of his intelligence, we might have a whole different ball game here.
Yeah, wouldn't that be great?
Not that it matters, I guess, too much, but
well, you know what? And we don't want to turn your segment into a political segment, but boy, I'll tell you, the last couple of days have sure made me feel like a lonely citizen.
I have quite a few friends of mine that are a little older than I was. I am, and they were in the service, and they fought for their country, and they are appalled with what's going on right now, and they're citing so many people that have done far less.
Oh yeah,
yet suffered far worse. And I watched this thing. I couldn't believe what Comey was saying. How hard he came out. And
I was convinced he was going to recommend, her to be indicted because of the way he came out with this thing. All these things that she was guilty of, including lying and everything else, and then all of a sudden we're not going to recommend an indictment.
I was ready to write an obituary for her.
Yeah, I was thinking, boy, there goes her presidency. Looks like Trump will be running against Sanders.
Yeah, now it's a little disappointing. I mean, I just don't understand it. I heard Rudy Giuliani, I guess Comey used to work for him, and he's blown away. Everybody is.
Yeah.
Enough with the politics.
Okay.
Nothing we can do about it.
No, yeah, obviously nothing we can do about it. We're not in that power play.
Anyhow, let's talk about what's going on here in the wireless industry. T-Mobile just broke a brand new deal, Robert. I know you're still with AT&T. I'll never know why, but I guess somebody's got to give them the business.
Hey, I'm a loyal guy.
You are loyal.
I'm a loyal guy. Yeah, I'm a loyal guy.
Well, let me tell you what you could be getting if you weren't so loyal. T-Mobile has a deal right now, 2 lines for $100, and that gets you unlimited voice, unlimited text, unlimited 2G data, and 6 gigabytes of data per line. And the cool thing about that is you also get their binge on, which means you can listen to 34 different or watch 34 different streaming services, YouTube, Facebook, Verizon, all kinds of streaming video. You're not even using your data. You're not using your data.
That's 6 gigabytes of data. Is that a month?
It's 6 gigabytes per month per user, and the beauty of that is they're giving you unlimited 2G. So if you ever did use the 6 gig, the worst case scenario is you're going to get slowed down, but you're never going to use the 6 gig,
right? Because
that 6 gig, most people use data when they're streaming video,
right?
If you can stream video without using your data, if you can listen to music without using your data, what else could you possibly use your data for? One good thing, hotspot.
Oh, yeah.
So what that means is anybody on this plan, for basically, $100 for $50 a line, for all practical purposes, you got unlimited data with 6 gigabytes of hotspot.
Wow.
Pretty amazing, $100. Now, they also have a deal for somebody who wants more data. They got a 10 gig deal for $120. And these, you can add a line to the 6 gig for $20. You can add a line to the 10 gig for $30. They even have unlimited data.
But you can also upgrade. But you can also upgrade. Let's just say you got the 6 gig, and I can't imagine you ever using that. But let's just say you got the 6 gig. You can always update that the following month if you find out you need more, right?
Yeah, so let's say you're on a plan with your wife, 2-line plan, $100, and you decide you want more data. Well, you can upgrade your line independently of hers for another $15. You got 10 gig instead of 6 gig.
Wow.
So anyhow, this is good stuff. It's more data. It's inexpensive. T-Mobile's the carrier that gives you the 140 countries, no text. No data charges, 20 cents per minute calling. So for global usage, I have T-Mobile, and that's the reason I do.
Now, do they have the same kind of do they give you the same kind of coverage? I'll be very honest with you. And I am a loyal consumer, and I know I'm overpaying. But I went to AT&T because of the different services they provided me at the time. I was traveling extensively. But how is their service compared to AT&T? Do you get the same good service everywhere you are?
No, they're fantastic. The service is fantastic, but AT&T and Verizon are going to work in Pascagoula, Mississippi, in Two Eggs, Florida, in where you live.
That was nice, and where you swim, right?
Well, where I swim, everybody works. But the point is, the service on AT. If you told me, Robert, and this is why I'm an independent broker, and I never, since I've been in this business. When I first got in, I represented LA Cellular, but that was because it was only LA Cellular and Pactel, and you couldn't offer both, or they can you. So at one time I did offer one carrier. Now I don't, because there is not one perfect carrier for everybody. If you told me that you're a truck driver and you drive cross country every couple of weeks, I would tell you to go AT&T or Verizon. And the only reason I would say those two carriers is they traditionally have the best voice services and most comprehensive networks on a domestic basis. Now, if you told me that you traveled globally and you mostly went to major markets, I would definitely tell you to try T-Mobile first. You know, it's hard to say which network's best because if you don't go to markets, those obscure markets, you know, I really haven't been anywhere T-Mobile doesn't work. And I have a satellite phone. Should I go somewhere where T-Mobile doesn't work? I'm just going to use my satellite phone if I'm outdoors. But that really hasn't happened. So where I go, T-Mobile works great. I think that some people that say, okay, well, Verizon worked and T-Mobile doesn't. Well, go back to Verizon. The beauty is everybody's buying out everybody's contracts.
Yeah.
So I tell most of my clients, start with T-Mobile. If it works for you, you're going to be a happy camper once a month when your bill comes and when you travel. And if it doesn't work for you, you can feel good about knowing that you tried the cheaper option and you go with the more expensive option that you need. So that's how I position it. Each carrier has its pros and cons. Verizon, up until now, the big problem with them is you could have some nasty surprises. They didn't offer throttling, which they're now, throttling sounds so bad. I hate to use that term, but it's actually a great thing.
Well, isn't that where when you use you use up your 4G, it goes to 2G? Isn't that what throttling is?
Exactly. Which means if you know you can still do email, you can still play with the social networks, Facebooks and the Twitters and all that. Mm-hmm. You just can't stream video. But and if you want to stream video, they'll give you an option where you can pay X amount of dollars for X amount of data until the beginning of your next billing cycle. But up until now, that's all AT&T and Verizon did. AT&T now offers throttling as well. And Verizon is now introducing throttling on their highest plans. And I have this on our website, and I have this on our Facebook page as well, www.drwireless.com and Facebook/drwireless, and I will explain all these Verizon plans on there. Bottom line, just to give it to you quick, they have the S, the small, medium, large, extra large, extra, extra large. Basically what they did is on the small, that one went up $5 and it went from 1 gig to 2 gigs. Mm-hmm. The second one went from $45 for 3 gigs to $50 for 4. The large went to 8 gigs for $70. The extra large went to 16 gigs, and this extra went to 24. So the bigger the plans are, the more generous they got. They, in a nutshell, they went from $5 to $10 up per month. The ones that went up $10 are giving you a lot more.
So if a person wanted to move from, and let's just use me as an example, wanted to move from AT&T, and I still have my my 5S phone, but let's say that gosh, you know what, I would be interested in moving. I'm interested in service. I'm interested in pricing, obviously, and I know I'm overpriced right now. But I would also like a new phone. Can T-Mobile accomplish all of that for me?
Yep. You could do a number of things. You could take your 5S over, pop in a T-Mobile SIM card. It'll work right out the door. AT&T has to unlock your phone because you've been with them for over 2 years. Mm-hmm. The other thing is you could get a T-Mobile phone if you wanted, let's say, a 6S 16 gig. Just to use an example, I would recommend the 64 gig.
Absolutely, and that's what I would do. You and I talked about that. If you
wanted that, you're looking at about $31.04 a month for 24 months. Mm-hmm. And you've got that phone.
Oh, wow.
So you can do it on a installment, 0 interest.
So at the end of the 12 months or what, I own the phone.
Oh yeah. At the end of 24 months, you own the phone.
Oh, okay.
And the difference is, there's a lot of small differences. For example, AT&T rolls their data over just to the next month. Mm-hmm. So let's say you were out of town this month in Europe, and you're on you didn't use your data, mm-hmm. and you had 3 gigs left over. That 3 gigs will roll over to next month, but it won't roll over to the following month.
I gotcha.
The beauty of what T-Mobile does is everything rolls over until the December 31st.
And then you start anew.
And then you start anew. So, and this is why, when I see these comparisons, you've seen, our friend, who used to, can you hear me now, dude?
Oh, yeah.
Who used to work for Verizon, now he's with Sprint. And Sprint's new ad is, we're now 1%, within Verizon. You know, so, and, you know, we can cut your rates 50%, and they're comparing, you know, rates, but they're not factoring in the other stuff.
Right.
The important stuff like coverage, like rollover, like global roaming, like binge on, you know, there's lots of stuff that, for example, T-Mobile is offering that you can't compare when you're doing a rate comparison because nobody else is offering it.
Gotcha. Yeah.
Anyhow, so that's pretty much what's going on with T-Mobile and with Verizon, and I have this outlined on our website for people who want to see this and truly understand it. Bottom line is there's 3 basic family match plans with T-Mobile, a 6 gig, a 10 gig, and an unlimited.
Wow.
So it's just a matter of choosing, you know, the right one.
Well, give out your contact information. We got to take a short commercial break, and then when we come back, I promise I'll shut up and let you talk about whatever you want.
Yeah, no worries, Robert. Anyhow, and all this stuff, again, is accessible on our website, www.drwireless.com/blog. It's also on our Facebook page, Facebook/drwireless, and obviously I can be contacted at Joel@drwireless.com.
And we're talking to our own Dr. Wireless, Joel Saltzman. Don't go away. We've got a lot of exciting information for you from the world of wireless and our own Dr. Wireless. We'll be right back.
Isn't it time to shine the spotlight on your expertise? The Interview, starring you. Here's your chance to capture 5 minutes of fame with The Interview. This isn't just any interview. This is your opportunity to showcase your expertise and position yourself as a trusted expert in a one-on-one video interview hosted by Robert Cardoza, host of the nationally syndicated show Robert Cardoza Live and powered by AHA Studios. What is it? A professionally recorded video for your use. Robert Cardoza interviews you on the set where he records his show. Professional interview showcases your expertise and value, shot in a state-of-the-art studio. And what's in it for you? Gain credibility as an expert, earn the trust of your target market, educate in a way that intrigues your audience, gain a powerful marketing tool that offers dozens of uses, website, video sharing sites, social media, email, DVDs, direct mail, lobby video, resumes, profile building, all that kind of stuff. Association with the nationally syndicated celebrity. That's right. And let's talk about AHA Studios. AHA is a strategic marketing firm that leverages the powerful and visual persuasion to help your business create powerful messages that connect with your target market. AHA ventures way beyond strategy, delivering the marketing collateral you need to start driving a new business through your doors. AHA has a full-service, in-house, state-of-the-art production studio to bring your messages to life using video. Discover how to make The Interview work for you. Call 949-831-2222. That's 949-831-2222. AHA Image Studios Incorporated. Dr. Stephen Tidwell, General Family Dentistry in a caring, personalized environment. Here at Dr. Tidwell's office, we are dedicated to helping you keep your teeth healthy. We are a state-of-the-art dental practice that still believes in traditional values, such as excellent customer service and individual attention. We have a special welcoming offer for you for just $39, a complete exam, personal consultation, professional cleaning, and all necessary x-rays. That's a $266 value for $39. Dr. Tidwell has 2 convenient locations and experienced staff to provide you with professional care and personal attention that you deserve. Call today. Don't delay. A great smile another day. Call 909-944-7308. That's 909-944-7308 for Rancho Cucamonga or San Bernardino. Joel Saltzman is Dr. Wireless. He has turned his considerable expertise into consumer credit risk and wireless security into a highly specialized independent web-based consulting enterprise targeting consumer credit risk analysis and wireless transactional security and monitoring. He works as a wireless analyst, veteran independent agent, and consumer liaison for most wireless telecom carriers and equipment manufacturers. For more than 20 years, corporate and private clients and media audiences have counted on his unvarnished advice while weighing the technology, performance, and cost differences between Sprint, Nextel, AT&T, Verizon, and T-Mobile. Joel specializes in setting up mobile wireless hotspots to be used for disaster preparedness, business continuity, and mobile wireless merchant processing solutions. Call Dr. Wireless at 310-400 4900, or go to his webpage at drwireless.com. Again, call 310-400-4900 or his webpage at drwireless.com. You'll be glad you did. And now, back to our show.
And I am Robert Cardoza. You're listening to Robert Cardoza live on the street at the intersection of business and politics. And I'm here with my co-host for the day, my new teenage grandson, Joey. And we're with Dr. Wireless, Joel Saltzman. Hey, Joel, you got the microphone.
Hey, Robert. Hey, Joey. Nice to be talking with you, too. I wanted to talk about malware right now, Robert. I know that a few weeks ago we were talking about the first incidence of Mac ransomware. And until recently, it seemed like the bad guys always just picked on the Windows people and left us Mac guys alone, but that's no longer true. Have you heard about what's going on these days?
Yeah, you touched on that last week, not very in depth, but you touched on it last week, and it's kind of demoralizing and concerning.
It is because, until recently, I've never even used any virus control or malware control stuff for my Macs because it just never was an issue. The Mac ransomware that happened earlier this year was the first example I've seen, and there is now a brand new example, which is pretty terrifying for Mac users. It's dubbed backdoor.maceleanor. And this is and the scary thing about this, it's available as a download in apps. It's embedded in some apps, and it's available on a download from previously reputable download sites.
Wow.
For example, Mac Update. And I know a lot of times people, will go to places other than the Android or Apple Store. I know I frequently download stuff from CNET, and up until recently, I have downloaded from Mac Update. But now I'm starting to wonder if I want to do that anymore. The problem is they can embed this stuff into like a fake file converter, and these reputable sites have no idea. It poses as a drag and drop file converter with no functionality. It just downloads a malicious script. So there's no way you really know what's going on, and this type of malware is really dangerous. And the reason is it's hard to detect, and it offers the attackers full control of the compromised system.
Wow.
For example, someone can lock you out of your own laptop. They can threaten to blackmail you to restore your private files, or they can transform your laptop into a botnet to attack other devices.
So these days you're just caught between a rock and a hard place. You got to be worried about who you download from, what you download, what emails you open up. I mean, you just flat out have to be cautious.
Exactly. And that's why I'm now offering cybersecurity training for businesses and their employees, because it is a minefield out there, Robert. The good news is that the malicious applications are not signed by an Apple development ID. So as long as you have your Mac set up, to only open apps from the Mac App Store or known developers, it's not going to open. But, it does make you wonder, about, every time you open up a link, you need to be careful.
Oh, yeah.
And every time you download something, you need to be careful. And up until now, you could assume, that a lot of these sources where you're downloading stuff from, were safe, like Mac Update. That's a reputable download site. But they even got scammed.
Well, you know what? It's so scary that, I don't know about you, but all of a sudden I'm getting inundated by unwanted emails, all these pitches and things, and I just erase them all immediately. What winds up happening is if you open it up and tell them unsubscribe to something you never subscribed to before, one, you're taking a chance that you're going to be infected, and the other is they sell that information. They verified now your email address, and you just get bombarded with this crap. I wish there was a way that, on my phone, if I start getting phone calls from people that I don't want calls from, I can block them. Why can't they do that with email?
It amazes me. It just totally amazes me. I get the same email stuff, and you can set up filters, and it doesn't mean, I used to do this with the Viagra. And so I'd say, rules, block anything that says Viagra. So they'd send me something V star, I star,
yeah.
star. You can't win. You would think that these search engines, I'm just waiting for somebody to come out with technology that can block. I don't know if you ever get these, but I get these emails that are baloney emails. And then at the bottom, it's just like about 8 paragraphs of just total gibberish.
Yeah. Yeah.
And you'd think that these search engines could pick up this gibberish in this thing and just recognize these things as spam and not even deliver them.
Yeah, I mean, or at least you ought to be able to, when you get something you don't want, there ought to be, without opening it up, there ought to be some kind of a tag that you can hit that says, hey, this is spam and don't deliver it anymore. That can't be that difficult to do.
Well, it's not just email. I'll give you an example. Do you use Facebook?
Yes, I do.
All right. Have you ever friended somebody and all of a sudden the next thing you know, you're in the knockoff Oakley sunglass business?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. You know what?
You friend the wrong person and the next thing they're sending you an advertisement for $200 Oakleys for $19.99.
Yeah. And then
and to all your friends and then all of a sudden your computer's sending out from Robert Cardoza, these Ray-Ban and Oakley ads.
Yeah. Yeah. You know what?
I mean, how annoying is that? I mean, Zuckerberg's got to be very careful.
Yeah.
Because people are going to get I'm to the point now where I'm getting so fed up. If it wasn't for the, wonderful things every now and then I'll get in touch with somebody I haven't talked to for 40 years.
Yeah.
But if it wasn't for the good experiences with Facebook, I'd hang it up because I'm getting so sick of the fraud.
And that's all of those doggone social networks. And you're absolutely right. And it takes forever if you actually can identify, one of these phony names and guys that's triggering this Oakley stuff, the Ray-Ban stuff. If you accidentally can identify one, it takes forever for you to eliminate them as a friend.
It is nuts. And then the other thing is you have to be very careful of. I just received an email from a friend of mine asking me if, to be friends with her. Mm-hmm. And that wouldn't have been too unusual. But the fact is she's got 5,000 friends already, and I'm one of them. Yeah. And, she's an ex-world surfing champion. Oh. And I think she was born like in 1942 or, she's older than I am. Mm-hmm. But, the strange thing was I got this friend request, her picture, her name, and I always check out, the information on there, and I see she's only got 3 friends. One of them I know, and then I double check her age, and it says she was born in 1966. So I contacted her, and I said, I've got some good news and bad news. I said, do you feel younger today? She said, no. I said, well, I got a Facebook profile, and you're born in 1966.
And she says, what?
So point being, you got to be very careful, and I even put out on my Facebook that, if anybody, is friends with me, I will never, ever, ever send out another, friendship request. So if you get a friendship request from me and we're already friends, disregard it. It ain't me, babe.
Oh, yeah. That's a good idea.
So just mention that because it's something that's going on now in a big way.
Yeah, I get, I get a lot of that stuff. I probably get 100 requests a week. And
I do too, and I don't. And here's what I do. I'm no expert, but the first thing I do is when I get these friend requests, mm-hmm. I will go to their friends to see if we have mutual friends. Uh-huh. And then what I'll do is I'll click on a few of them. And if I see right away that, the person who's trying to befriend me, if I see their name with an Oakley or a Ray-Ban commercial, I know it's bogus.
Yeah.
And I report them and delete them right away. But the weird thing I'm getting, Robert, is I'll get these friendship requests from people I don't know, and they got 3 friends or 5 friends, and they don't surf or don't do anything in the wireless industry. There's nothing in common. They live in Indonesia, or they live in Brazil, and it's just so much crap.
Yeah, and
annoying.
I'll get some of these from girls in foreign countries that really, they're just they're trying to scam you. I just have a real short fuse with that kind of stuff. And they want to talk to you. Well, I don't want to talk to them. And the first thing they want to know your phone number so they can call you. That ain't going to happen.
Well, I'm sure you have the same problem. Do you get that with Skype? I get all the time people calling me and hi, hello.
Yeah.
And it's like, I almost want to respond. Do I know you?
Yeah, I'll get that too. Hi, how are you? You know what? Who the hell are you? It's crazy stuff.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Anyhow, just so the Apple people don't feel like we're picking on them, there's a big problem with Android devices, especially in China. There's a Chinese advertising firm that was in the hacking business big time. It was a group of cyber criminals that were operating as a Chinese advertising firm, and they were running malicious ad rackets that were raking in like $300,000 a month.
Oof.
And an Israeli cybersecurity company busted them.
Oh.
And apparently, it was a scam. They found that apps from a company called Ying Mob, that's the Chinese ad firm, were installed on over 85 million mobile devices running Google's Android system.
Wow.
And of those 85 million, 10 million were found to be running malicious software developed by this firm. And what the malicious software did, it displayed ads to generate illegitimate clicks, downloading fraudulent apps, and to make money.
Oh, of course.
So pretty amazing stuff. And they could basically steal data from targets. They could wage denial of service attacks against companies or spy on people's activities. So apparently this Ying Mob advertising company has 200 apps and 50 of them have already been deemed malicious. So it just shows you need to be very careful with who you're doing business with and what you're downloading on your phone. And
I just keep thinking that sooner or later, these companies, they already have to have that technology. They're just waiting until they can not compete with other things they're trying to sell, I think.
Well, we'll have to see what happens. The problem is people, will infect, you've seen it, they'll infect your computer, with a virus, and then they'll send you a patch, if you're experiencing this and this and this, we can get rid of it. Click here.
Oh, have you ever gotten a phone? You ever gotten a phone call from some guy that says he's from Microsoft? They got a report that your computer's running slow.
Yes, and what they want to do is they want you to go to My PC or one of the services so they can remotely log on to your computer and fix it for you.
Yeah, really fix it. Just unbelievable stuff that goes on out there. In my computer, I think I may have mentioned to you before. Every morning when I'm writing my show, after I get done writing my show, I actually go through and I run a malware program that I use that really makes sure that everything is good and clean. Then I defrag every morning. Once a week I do a super defrag, but every morning I defrag. And then I turn my computer off. I just don't want stuff hanging out there.
That's pretty smart. That's pretty smart, actually.
It doesn't take any time. Just because it happens fast. It's just a way of keeping up on top of it. And the thing is because I do it every day, it does not take any time at all. It's just really fast because it knows what it took out yesterday.
Well, you're smart enough to know, not to click on links. And when you get something from eBay or PayPal that says, your password has been compromised and please set up another one, the first thing you do is you close that email, you go to paypal.com, you do not click on any links to PayPal or eBay or any other service in an email, because generally they're disguised links, and that's where you get in trouble. And this is what most people don't know. A simple act of clicking on the wrong link, a simple act of inserting a USB stick that maybe you think it's a memory card and there could be something, malware on it. There's just so many things you can do innocently and wreck your whole day.
Well, you know what? What they need to do is to talk to my good buddy, Dr. Wireless, Joel Salzman. Hey, Joel, give out that contact information. Unfortunately, when I talk to you, the time just sort of goes by in a swoosh.
I noticed that. Well, in any event, anybody with any of these dilemmas, questions, problems, or just looking for good service and need some answers can contact me at joel@drwireless.com. You can go to our website, www.drwireless.com. Everything we talked about is under the drwireless.com/blog and under Facebook/drwireless.
And you can't go wrong with my Dr. Wireless, Joel Salzman. Hey, Joel, have a great week, and we'll talk to you on next week.
Pleasure talking to you and Joey. Likewise.
All right, you take care. Now, the rest of you folks, do not go away. When we come back, it'll be the birthdays for the day, the secret daily teaching for your life, the Harvard business tip of the day, and interesting but useless facts. And then coming on right after that will be our tribute to the late, great Paul Harvey and the rest of the story. And today's story, the good for nothing. I'll tell you all about that right after these brief messages. Don't go away, folks.
If you want to increase your client base and sales, then consider this, the Relationship Building Network at RBN. Given the current economic conditions and challenges, we all need to work smarter, make smarter decisions, invest our hard-earned dollars where it'll yield the best return for our investment. Many business professionals claim that the most effective networking group in Orange County is RBN. No other networking group or organization can offer what RBN offers. Make every year your best year. Join RBN and start reaping the benefits today. Nearly 3,000 businesses have joined RBN and experienced those benefits. Why join RBN? It's one group. It's one membership. It's no renewals. It's all through Orange County. RBN is a freestyle networking group. No mandatory attendance, no restrictions, no rules, and no penalties. Call them at 949-830-5776 or go to their website at rbninfo.com. That's 949-830-5776. If you've ever dreamed of having your own business to make your life secure, Water's Edge Wineries might be just the ticket. In 2004, their founder, Ken Lineberger, created the first winery franchise in California. It was a new concept with all of the functionality of a traditional winery, but without the vineyards. They purchase high-quality grape must from one of the largest winemaking companies in the world. Then they craft each wine carefully and bottle it right at their location. The winery was built to satisfy consumer demand for wine by the bottle and by the glass, but still kept the element of allowing customers to bottle their own custom vintage. Now, they're opening urban wineries across the United States under the brand Water's Edge Wineries. If you've ever dreamed of owning your own winery, it may be in reach right now through Water's Edge Wineries. Just give them a call at 909-468-9463, extension 700. That's Water's Edge Wineries, 909-468-9463. Have you ever found yourself caught between a rock and a hard place? The law offices of Blomberg, Benson, and Garrett might be just the answer for you. The attorneys of Blomberg, Benson, and Garrett have been serving the Inland Empire since 1989. They're dedicated to the aggressive litigation of civil, criminal, and real estate matters. Over the years, they have recovered tens of millions of dollars for their clients. The firm's practice specializes in litigation of personal injury, accident, slip and fall, real estate, and criminal law cases. The firm provides clients with the care, accuracy, and dedication of experienced attorneys. Blomberg, Benson, and Garrett is located at 10300 4th Street, Suite 150 in Rancho Cucamonga, California. They've been providing the Inland Empire residents with outstanding legal services for over 25 years. They look forward to providing you with aggressive legal representation. Call them at 909-945-5000, where you can talk to a person, not a machine. That's 909-945-5000, the law offices of Blomberg, Benson, and Garrett. And now let's get back to our show where we talk about politics, money, and you.
And I am Robert Cardoza. You're listening to Robert Cardoza live on the street at the intersection of business and politics. We're at 4:41 p.m. Pacific time, currently 86 degrees here in the heart of the Inland Empire in sunny Southern California. Well, that's on its way down to 59 degrees, but if you're listening to us on our globally syndicated network and you're in Rome, Italy, well, it's 72 degrees and partly cloudy. If you're in London, England, it's 84 degrees and it's clear. And if you're in Vienna, Austria, it is 63 degrees in clear. Wow, and what a difference that is. You know what, right now, it is time for our Harvard Business Tip of the Day. And the management tip today is 2 interviewing techniques that help you really get to know candidates. You know, during interviews, candidates often offer practiced responses. Try taking a few risks to help you probe past their canned answers. On-the-spot interview coaching is a simple way to get your candidate to open up and answer your questions more thoroughly. Give the person a coaching directive such as, can you please answer the same question by telling me a story with an arc? Now, this strategy enables you to assess whether the candidate is receptive to feedback and whether they can integrate that feedback into the rest of the interview. If you want to change the environment of the interview and understand a candidate's social capability in high-stress situations, try group interviews, which naturally create scenarios that strain social dynamics. Now, this will help you determine who stands out as a natural leader. These techniques will ensure that you find stronger employees who are well suited for your company. Just keep it in mind. Interviewing is probably one of the most difficult talents to really develop. A good interviewer can make you feel very comfortable, can draw things out of you that you don't even realize are coming out, and it's a good thing for you to practice over and over and over again. Your interview should really just flow like a conversation, not an interrogation. Well, you know what? It is time for our secret daily teaching for your life, and this is all about a positive mental attitude. You decide whether you're going to be happy or sad, rich or poor, successful or a failure. You decide even if the people around you are going to be happy or sad. It's all about a positive mental attitude, and you should be practicing it all the time. You should do it the minute you jump out of bed in the morning, you look in the mirror, turn on that positive mental attitude. Now, the teaching today is if you're complaining, the law of attraction will powerfully bring into your life more situations for you to complain about. If you're listening to someone else complain and focusing on that, sympathizing with them, agreeing with them, in that moment, you are attracting more complaining situations to yourself. Now, that's just a natural fact. That's how I said you need a positive mental attitude. You really control everything that's going on in your life. No question about that. Now, you know what today is? Sure you do. It's Wednesday and it's July the 6th, and it is somebody's birthday. And I mean, it is somebody's birthday. Okay, now you know what, we're gonna start these birthdays off with one that we want to make a big deal of. Unfortunately, this person just recently passed away. She was born in 1921. She was First Lady of the United States from 1981 to 1989. She was married to President Ronald Reagan. Happy birthday, Nancy Reagan. And here's another guy you all heard of. He was born in 1946. Served as the 43rd President of the United States from 2001 to 2009. Can you imagine he shares a birthday with Nancy Reagan? Happy birthday, George W. Bush. And then finally, here's a guy that my grandson Joey likes to watch because he likes action. This fellow was born 1946, 70 years ago. He's an actor who is an icon in machismo and Hollywood action heroism for his role as Rocky Balboa. Happy birthday, Sylvester Stallone. Yep, my grandson was just mouthing what his name was. Well, you know what? Let's talk about what happened today in history. July the 6th, 1486, Joe. Portuguese sea captain Diogo Chao finds the mouth of the Congo River. Didn't know that. How about this? In 1785, the dollar is unanimously chosen as the monetary unit for the United States. And then here's one that you'll know. July 6th, 1942. Anne Frank and her family went into hiding in the secret annex above her father's office in an Amsterdam warehouse. I actually have been there and been in there. Now, I know you and I went to the Holocaust Museum, remember?
The Museum of Tolerance.
Oh, Museum of Tolerance. And we actually saw a recreation of Anne Frank's room. It's a little different if you're actually there, though. It still gets you.
It's quite the powerful museum that we went to. That was one heck of a place.
Yeah, it was. Well, you know what? Our quote for today, Joe, comes from Thomas Edison. And he says, if we all did the things that we are capable of doing, we would literally astound ourselves. That's kind of prolific, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, you know what? You know what time it is, Joey? It is time for interesting
but useless facts.
That's the time. That's where we're at. Let's get right to it. Did you know that food passes through the small intestine in just 2 hours, zipping along at 2/1000ths of a mile per hour? Inside the large intestine, it takes about 14 hours, traveling at a more leisurely rate of 7/millionths of a mile per hour. Isn't that something? No, I'm sorry. Yeah, that's something. How about this? Did you know that giant pandas are good climbers? Giant pandas. Matter of fact, I heard the story one time. If you got a bear chasing you, don't climb a tree because it'll be at the top waiting for you to get there. Bears can really climb. Here's one. Lord Byron had 4 pet geese that he brought everywhere with him, even to social gatherings. Now, Byron, though considered one of the most dashing and attractive men of his time, was fat and had a club foot. I don't know why any of that makes any difference. You ever wonder about these guys that actually develop all these interesting but useless facts?
Yeah, I do. I think it would be a very interesting but useless job.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Here's one. Gary Burgo, who played Walter Radar O'Reilly on MASH. Are you familiar with that?
I'm familiar with MASH, yeah, but I don't remember
but not Radar? Not the character?
I don't remember
okay.
the character.
Anyway, has a deformed left thumb. If you watch closely, you'll see that he never shows his left thumb on the screen.
I wonder what happened.
I don't know. It was deformed, probably at birth.
Probably at birth.
Okay, let me leave you with this one. Rabbits reproduce very quickly. This can be a major headache for people living in agricultural areas where rabbits are seen as pests. My uncle used to have a large ranch, and the rabbits were just all over the place, just unbelievable. Well, you know what? I'm going to leave you with one last one, and that is: did you know that at age 73, men are still at age 70, 73% of men are still potent. They're still fertile. They can still procreate. Oh, well. Anyway, don't go away. When we come back, we're going to do our tribute to the late, great Paul Harvey and the rest of the story. And again, like I said, today's story is the good for nothing. Now, I'm not talking about my grandson, Joey. I'm talking about a great story here. We'll be right back, folks.
Isn't it time to shine the spotlight on your expertise? The Interview, starring you. Here's your chance to capture 5 minutes of fame with The Interview. This isn't just any interview. This is your opportunity to showcase your expertise and position yourself as a trusted expert in a one-on-one video interview hosted by Robert Cardoza, host of the nationally syndicated show Robert Cardoza Live and powered by AHA Studios. What is it? A professionally recorded video for your use. Robert Cardoza interviews you on the set where he records his show. Professional interview showcases your expertise and value, shot in a state-of-the-art studio. And what's in it for you? Gain credibility as an expert, earn the trust of your target market, educate in a way that intrigues your audience, gain a powerful marketing tool that offers dozens of uses, website, video sharing sites, social media, email, DVDs, direct mail, lobby video, resumes, profile building, all that kind of stuff. Association with the nationally syndicated celebrity. That's right. And let's talk about AHA Studios. AHA is a strategic marketing firm that leverages the powerful and visual persuasion to help your business create powerful messages that connect with your target market. AHA ventures way beyond strategy, delivering the marketing collateral you need to start driving a new business through your doors. AHA has a full-service, in-house, state-of-the-art production studio to bring your messages to life using video. Discover how to make the interview work for you. Call 949-831-2222. That's 949-831-2222. AHA Image Studios Incorporated. Dr. Stephen Tidwell, Gentle Family Dentistry in a caring, personalized environment. Here at Dr. Tidwell's office, we are dedicated to helping you keep your teeth healthy. We are a state-of-the-art dental practice that still believes in traditional values, such as excellent customer service and individual attention. We have a special welcoming offer for you for just $39, a complete exam, personal consultation, professional cleaning, and all necessary x-rays. That's a $266 value for $39. Dr. Tidwell has 2 convenient locations and experienced staff to provide you with professional care and personal attention that you deserve. Call today. Don't delay. A great smile another day. Call 909-944-7308. That's 909-944-7308 for Rancho Cucamonga or San Bernardino. Joel Saltzman is Dr. Wireless. He has turned his considerable expertise into consumer credit risk and wireless security into a highly specialized independent web-based consulting enterprise targeting consumer credit risk analysis and wireless transactional security and monitoring. He works as a wireless analyst, veteran independent agent, and consumer liaison for most wireless telecom carriers and equipment manufacturers. For more than 20 years, corporate and private clients and media audiences have counted on his unvarnished advice while weighing the technology, performance, and cost differences between Sprint, Nextel, AT&T, Verizon, and T-Mobile. Joel specializes in setting up mobile wireless hotspots to be used for disaster preparedness, business continuity, and mobile wireless merchant processing solutions. Call Dr. Wireless at 310-400-4900 or go to his webpage at drwireless.com. Again, call 310-400-4900 or his webpage at drwireless.com. You'll be glad you did. And now, back to our show.
Robert Cardoza. You're listening to Robert Cardoza live on the street at the intersection of business and politics. I'm here with my co-host, my teenage grandson, Joey. How are we doing so far, Joe?
I think we're doing great.
I think we're doing great, too. And only because you're here. I love you, Joey.
I love you, too.
See, I said it on the air again, didn't I?
Yes, you did.
Okay. Well, I want you to know that at 4:55 p.m. Pacific time, currently 86 degrees here in the heart of the Inland Empire in sunny Southern California. It's on its way down to 58. It's a beautiful, beautiful day here. And you know what? If you're on one of our global syndicated networks and you're in Tokyo, Japan, it is, God, I can't read that. It's 84 degrees and partly cloudy. Sydney, Australia is 61 degrees and mostly cloudy. So, that's where we're at there. But right now, it's time for us to do our tribute to the late, great Paul Harvey and the rest of the story. He is the biggest and best voice in America, reveals the startling heartbeats behind the headlines. Paul Harvey, one of America's favorite radio and TV commentators, heard over 775 ABC radio stations and over 400 foreign stations, seen on 110 television stations, read in 300 newspapers, recipient of numerous awards and honors, including 9 honorary degrees on the Gallup polls list of America's most admired men. Well, you know what today's story is? The good for nothing. Yeah. Well, you know what? When you're a little boy and dad calls you good for nothing, it's just gotta hurt. That's just what Giuseppe's papa called him. Good for nothing. Little Giuseppe, good for nothing. And he wasn't joking. For Papa came from a family of fishermen. 300 years, the men of his family had been fishermen in Sicily. And Papa himself was a fisherman. When he first came to America, he worked on the railroad until he had saved enough money to send for his wife. Then he headed straight for San Francisco to Fisherman's Wharf to become a fisherman again, to perpetuate the family tradition. Eventually, Papa and Mama had 9 children, and you can imagine that all of the boys got their sea legs early, began helping Papa out on his fishing boat from the time that they'd learned to walk. All of them, that is, except Giuseppe. Giuseppe didn't want to. "What do you mean you don't want to?" demanded Papa. Giuseppe explained that the rocking of the small boat and the smell of the fish made him ill. It wasn't that he didn't want to help out. Fish just didn't agree with him. That's all. That wasn't good enough for Papa. As far as Papa was concerned, Giuseppe was good for nothing. The boy had come from a long line of fishermen, and there was no reason in the world for the profession to disagree with him. Giuseppe was never too sick to go out and play with his friends. Why, then, did it make him sick to help Papa? Well, not why, but what happened then is the rest of the story. Disturbed by his father's criticism, young Giuseppe tried very hard to adapt to the family business. The rocking of the boat and the smell of the fish still bothered him, so he turned to other tasks, such as sealing the boat and repairing the nets. But as hard as he tried to remain unaffected, the fish smell was still in the gear and made his already sensitive stomach even more queasy. Giuseppe quit. He went out and did odd jobs wherever he could, errand boy, newspaper boy. Sometimes he even pulled down $1 a day. It wasn't pocket money. It was table money. Every cent Giuseppe earned, he turned over to the household for food and clothing. You'd think Papa would be proud of his son, but to Papa, young Giuseppe was just being lazy. Odd jobs were lazy jobs, according to him. Real work was helping Papa on the fishing boat. This weighed heavily on the lad. He started hiding under the bed when Papa came looking for him, or he ran off to play sports with his friends when he knew Papa was about to call him to the fishing boat. Tennis was especially interesting to him, watching the older boys play. He knew that tennis champs Maurice McLaughlin and Bill Johnson came from San Francisco, and he wanted to be like them. But the tennis passion didn't last long, and for the first time, Giuseppe began to believe his dad. Perhaps he was lazy, good for nothing, who couldn't even stay interested in a sport. Maybe he never would amount to anything. That's the way Giuseppe saw it back then. Everyone just seemed sort of gloomy and hopeless. But as it turned out, Giuseppe one day became the most successful member of his family. Oh, he didn't go back to fishing. Despite his ancestry, Giuseppe just wasn't cut out to be a fisherman, or his tennis player for that matter. When Giuseppe finally found something that interested him sufficiently to stay with it, his passion for it was so great that 2 of his brothers quit fishing and joined him. You've heard of Giuseppe by his American first name. Everyone else has, I guess anyway. And that great big world beyond Fisherman's Wharf won't forget the fisherman that they lost. Neither will they forget the boy who forgot about tennis, only to enter the world of sports and turn it upside down. For if that young man hadn't been too seasick to join the family business, he would have left the vacancy in baseball's Hall of Fame too great to fill. Giuseppe Joe DiMaggio. And now you know the rest of the story. Joe, what do you think of that story?
That was a great story.
Isn't that amazing?
Yeah, it was really interesting.
Yeah, it really was. Well, you know what? We're running a little bit late. I want to make sure that we get this thing going. It's sort of a 3-minute short show today because we had a tough time getting started today, Joe. So anyway, I want you to know that on tomorrow's show, my next show, Sean LaFave is going to be here. Sean and I are going to be talking about healthcare and the Geared for Wellness Corner. I'm going to continue our tribute to the late, great Paul Harvey with the rest of the story. And now I hope that you'll tell all your friends about my show. show here on the RLC Broadcasting Network. And don't forget to get our app. It's absolutely free. If you've got a Windows product, just go to your app store and search Robert Cardoza Live. Download it. It's absolutely free. If you've got an Android or a Windows product, go to googleplay.com and again, search Robert Cardoza Live. And again, it'll be right there. Download it. It's absolutely free. You can listen to our show whether we're doing it live like we are right now, or you can listen to the archives at your pleasure and know exactly what's going on. I'd appreciate it if you tell your friends about my show. And you know what? I'll be glad you did. They'll be glad you did, and you'll be glad you did. In the meantime, go out and make it a great day. Make everybody glad that you're in their life, will you? That's our
for today. Beginning today, treat everyone you meet as if they were going to be dead by midnight. Extend them all the care, kindness, and understanding that you can muster. Your life will never be the same again. So many of our dreams at first seem impossible, then they seem improbable, and then when we summon the will, they soon become inevitable. You know, the real secret of happiness is to make others believe that they're the cause of it. Robert Cardoza Live is brought to you by blogtalkradio.com every Monday through Friday from 4 p.m. to 6 p.m. Pacific Time. Now, go out and make it a great day. Your host has been Robert Cardoza, the technical advisor, Matchstick Digital, and your executive producer, also Robert Cardoza.